Okay. So let me go and find the answers. So already here, yes. Okay, this was seen also. Yes. Okay, so it was here. The first question that I had was whether, because there was this discrepancy of using his or yours in my translation of the English. German Kenzawampu was commenting, like putting himself in the situation of himself making a prayer and just expanding on the words of the praise. Or if he was taking the stance of an external reader who is saying, okay, here the praise says this and this means this, etc. And so the Kempo actually didn't have a clear-cut answer to that, because in Tibetan you use the third person for honorific purpose anyhow. So all over the commentary, whenever Manjushri is referred to, he's referred to as the third person. But then at the end, there is this part where the author of the praise itself says, "I bow down to you, Chambayan Ladu." And so, looking at these kind of passages, then Kempo said, "Okay, it looks like it's more. It should be taken, at least the parts that are with the root text in it. It should be put like if he was just paraphrasing the praise itself. So like if he was himself making a praise also, so you instead of his. So and then in this context, it's kind of easy to do. In this sentence, at least, your knowledge is absolutely purified. And then there were other contexts. For example, here, where the author of the commentary says, here is how you explained, and here is how the wisdom perceives its object. So obviously it is not just the continuity of the praise that is going on. So in these passages, then it becomes clear that it is Jaman Kenzawampu himself who is getting out of the way of the praise and making an external commentary, saying something outside. So in these kind of situations, then this, if there is a choice to be made, then it should be put in the third person. But otherwise, whenever there is some bold words, meaning in any sentence where there is parts of the original praise of the root text, then this should be left as second person. So that was, yeah, kind of challenging to make him understand that. But yeah, I managed. Shows that even for translation related questions that have nothing to do with the Tibetan, then we're still able to get the right answers. Okay, so that was for this question. Then after here, there was this question about whether we're talking about the perception or is it the light? So are we in the metaphor or in the meaning? And to that, Campbell said that, well, we could read them both. It's not like it's completely wrong to say that it is the light we're talking of, the physical light. But at the same time, here, since we have already talked about the metaphor up there, talking about the sun, here, for example, just like the sun that is freed from obscuring things like mist and clouds. So for Campbell here, we have finished talking about the metaphor. And then from down here, we are only talking about the meaning behind this metaphor. So he preferred that we keep to perception instead of light. It made more sense for him. And the same goes down here for shines. And so this is because the perception, so I'm going to just remove light here. So this is because the perception of his wisdom that apprehends all that is to be known, then shines would be still in the metaphor, right? So we have to find something else. Then we tried for some time with Kempo, but yeah, I was just concentrated on Tibetan, so I didn't think of anything at that moment. So here, maybe you can help me find the right verb.
No, it's perception. Sorry? No, sorry, no. Mm-hmm. Perception.
And so here, the Kempo said that the reason why we have this cell, which is to be clear or to shine, is so the meaning would be like someone who sees clearly something without having problem in his eyes and without having anything in between. So when you clearly see something, when you don't have anything wrong. So yeah, that is all that is known is clearly seen, maybe in a perfect way, clearly known.
I think I like the scene because it's the perception of it, of the wisdom. Or, well, if it's the wisdom, it can also be known, right?
Yeah, it is the wisdom. We're outside of the metaphor. Clearly known. It's but like if you have
engages into all that is known, clearly known in a perfect way.
Yes, then it is not so nice, right?
Yeah.
So we have to find something else.
Well, clearly perceived.
Clearly perceived, okay. Apprehends, perceive, doesn't sound.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, clearly perceived in the person. This is because the perception, clearly perceives, perceives in a perfect way. Rabdu salvesos. Rabdu sal. So this.
Can you?
Perfect. Actually,
can you?
Yes, please.
So no, okay. So yours is qualified. I was thinking if you could join the two adjectives, the clearly and the perfectly.
Yes.
To
simplify, but maybe.
It seems like it's different words that are in the.
No, actually,
the relationship to the verb.
So the verb has this clearly perceiving. It's like, I don't know if there's a verb for that when we have like
clarity.
When we have clarity is a noun, right? I'm searching for a verb. So when we have the idea that it's very clear, there's no doubt left anymore, everything is in place. Is there
where there's lucid, a lucid.
Yeah. Let me perfectly. Yes, so perfect is qualifying Rabtu sal. So this Rabtu qualifies is the verb. Perfectly
It would just be switching them. It'd be perfectly perceived in a clear way.
Clarity.
Or with clarity. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Clarity. So is there a verb for clarity? Let me check that. To be clear.
Clear.
I think what would be closest is to illuminate or something like that. Maybe we find to light after revealed, but not shed light to explain it, clear up, reveal, no, illuminate, radiate, brighten. Something that is not related to physical light, or not only. Well, you get the idea, right? Yes. Okay. That's better. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So he was saying it is to be understood as something that clearly comes to his direct perception without anything making what he perceives unclear. We could also say perceive with utter clarity. Yeah. Okay. Still think about something?
So just whether it's with clarity or with utter clarity, which one in the Tibetan would it be more for? Towards the utter clarity or clarity?
No, perfectly perceives or perceives with utter clarity.
I think
so. The adverb to put the intensity, if we use perfectly, then we put it before the verb. Then instead of perfectly, if we want to use utter as the adverb, then we put it before clarity.
Or even make perfect the adverb, perceives with perfect clarity.
Ah, yes, yeah, okay, right. What I need to have is that this adjective kind of qualifies the verb, the perception. Then, that functions because perceive with perfect clarity, utter clarity, we're still talking about the same thing.
But then it would be this because the perception of his wisdom that engages or that apprehends all that is to be known, perceives with perfect clarity, right?
Yeah. So there's no need of perfectly. Okay. That looks good. Okay, then next question. So I asked here about these assemblies, singular or plural. And then here again, it was kind of challenging because Tibetan doesn't have this need to put either singular or plural. It is just so, and that's about it. But in the end, Kempo said that, well, it's about the same. It could be both, but it looks more natural for him to say that it is one assembly within which all sentient beings are found. So in this case, what I will do is the whole assembly of sentient beings. Okay. on that question. Then next one. Here about yes, to give the courage or to bring the relief. Then Campbell was saying, well, this is I didn't actually check the dictionary or go further than just my first intuition of understanding what is written there. And so after that, when I showed him what I have found in the dictionary, the Campbell went to check in different sources. And then he found this explanation by Jason Taranata, which explains Ukjin as the fact of taking away someone from suffering, so dispelling the suffering of someone and establishing him on the happiness. This is Ukjin. And so Campbell was saying, well, looking at the other meaning, so to Jin is to give or to produce, and Uk is the breath. So it is like when you're in a very difficult situation and finally you have some relief, you'll do like, whew. So it is this breath that we're talking about that gave the expression, that turned into this expression, Ukjin. So to be able to, in French, we have that also, souffler, in the sense of being relieved of something. I don't know in Portuguese and Spanish.
The one who brings relief?
Do you have an expression to that means relief that is related to assoprar or something like that?
Alivio, maybe.
Yes, alivio, but
Alivio.
and yeah, and
but with the breath, or
yes, with the breath. No.
Maybe like suspirar or
suspiro.
something. Yeah,
The
suspiro, but it's more like suspiro is more like well, it is, but it could also be not in relief.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Desahogo, but it's not like.
Desahogo, no. Yeah, yeah.
Or like Ahogar is saying.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's not.
Okay. Well, this is so in Tibetan that the fact of having this breath of relief gave the meaning, and Taranata explained it as in that way, to to dissipate the suffering of someone and to establishing him in happiness, or in a place where there's no suffering. And so yes.
And so, but in the prayer, it's Ukchinpa, right? So it's the bringer of that.
Yes, but right after here, the pa and the ra together are linking two verbs, jin and ze, to do. So Manjushri is the one who brings relief.
Okay, so it's much it goes much more towards the option of bring it away from giving courage, right? Giving courage to reach.
Yes, yeah. So that's why I'm going to just take this out.
Yeah.
You bring the relief of the level of liberation and omniscience. Yeah, something like that. Okay.
But then it had nothing to bring, now it has nothing to do with the giving courage, right? So it's not, you bring the relief to attain the level, or to, because I remember you talking about that the last time.
Yes, that's because the Kempo said that, right? Lot of here, the courage, and then so to give the courage of something. Yes. But then when he looked at the more carefully in dictionary and other sources, then he said that it's
just
better to take Taranata as a source of explanation rather than him. Okay, so yes, so either bring the relief, or if we have something else that can show more to that goes yeah, in the direction
or
of happiness, or here bringing the relief is just to taking out the suffering, right?
well,
Bring you make it so that you liberate release from shackles of pretty mind, and you bring, so we are talking about beings, right? You bring them to the relief of the level of liberation and omniscience. Yeah. So I chose to put to the relief because it's, if you bring two somewhere, then you can also bring to the level of liberation. So it's
I see. So
place,
that's where.
Yes, to the place.
That's why.
Where,
sorry, please. No, you go. You go.
To the place that is the liberation and that is also the omniscience. I don't know if it's possible to do that, or maybe I'm just writing in very bad English, bringing to the relief. I don't know at all.
It sounds a little bit awkward. It does sound a little bit awkward, at least to me. I don't know for the rest. You bring them to the relief of the level of liberation. For me, the less awkward you bring them the relief of the level of liberation omniscience, but I don't know if that then entails that level of that you were talking about.
Yeah, the reason why I want to bring that is because there's this la, which is clearly so your it is the sentient beings that you relieve on the level of, or maybe yes, you relieve beings, you relieve them on the level of liberation omniscience. Does that work?
Or you bring
them on the level. Yeah, it doesn't have this idea of bringing someone somewhere, right?
On or to. You relieve them to the level of liberation, on the level of liberation.
Yeah. On the level, yeah. So if we keep it like we had before, and bring them, then I think what we could do is, so you.
I kind of like it like that. You bring them the relief of the level of liberation and omniscience.
To the place of relief of the level.
Maybe we could work something with another word that's not bring.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Literally, it is to do. You make. You make them have relief.
No. Create, no. Construct, no.
Okay. Well, I will let you think after we go on to the next question. Okay. And so this is a place that I was not sure. Well, those endowed with devotion and diligence, that's another one. I think that case, with the utterly pure intention, mindset, that is the aim. So the way can be explained it here is, so someone who has the pure intention devoid of dissimulation in order to attaining. Yes, okay, so it would be in order to here. Yes. Yes. All those endowed with diligence, devotion and diligence who recite this very praise many times with the completely pure intention, that is the aim. Also, that is the aim. Yes, so that is the aim is should not be there. Turn to neural loss. Also number page. Зачем ты нервалась? Recite. With the utterly pure intention. Also number B. That aims at the complete focus. Yeah, that looks better. So it is critical. Attention devoted to pretense. With the pure intention, that aims at the complete enlightenment. Here, what aims is the pure intention. So it is all of this that aims at the complete enlightenment.
So the aim was all what? All that?
Let me try to rewrite it. Because it's still not clear.
What about with the I think before we had it with the aim, which is completely utterly pure, and then all that devoid of dissimulation and pretense.
Yeah.
Well, that could work, but I think it was that we weren't sure if the devoid of dissimulation and pretense would be included.
Actually, here it would be all those endowed with devotion and diligence who aim at the complete enlightenment for others with the utterly pure intention, devoid of dissimulation, and who recite this very praise will obtain something. Yeah, that looks better. Aim at the complete enlightenment of others with the outline. Yes, with the utterly pure intention, supreme mindset. Right.
And I would probably put for periods such as years and months,
Yes,
maybe below the recite.
Yes, exactly.
Devotion, diligence, who aims at the complete enlightenment for others with pure intention of dissimulation. Yeah, and then that is too much.
Yeah.
Will obtain. What about in this respective order? Couldn't that go at the very end before the 2 points? Will obtain the following qualities, such as purifying one's defilements, in this respective order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, now there's like 3 really clear boxes.
Yes. Okay.
Cool.
So yes, that corresponds to the meaning that the Kempo explained. So I was kind of stuck with this line in the middle, which made me make it all confused. Okay, that is good. And then here, like I said the other time, I had forgotten the, which also made it confused. Make sure that in your version you take that into account.
Defilements. Which parts are you go?
By reciting it on the defilements that are obstructing the qualities to be born as, and it's not that there are obstructing qualities.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, changes everything.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, it was kind of, I imagine that you understand what I meant, but obviously.
Yeah, no, I went the other way.
Yeah. It's just that my mind was too much in the Tibetan mode.
Yeah.
Okay, and then next question. So that one was solved already. And so here, yes, what is this, the action or the function of the qualities? And so Campbell said that here the qualities that are being referred to are the five faculties themselves. And then we can see now that we have the bold of the root text of the commentary. That's actually the action of the qualities is a command for what follows. So it is a command because the commentary says the ability to destroying all obstructing factors, and then in the command and then here the author further comments this destroying all the obstructing factors as being the function or the action of the qualities of the five faculties.
I'm sorry, I don't really get it.
Yeah, so actually here, the text in bold, what it says is that these five, so the faculty of wisdom destroys all obstructing factors. That's what the bold says.
Mm-hmm.
And then in order to explain what is meant by destroying obstructing factors, then you have this part here that says, so destroying the obstructing factor actually is the function of the qualities, of the quality. So then is a the distraction so yes, if you put it that way, then it becomes clear. So by reciting it 1,000 times, one will obtain the faculty of wisdom that is able to destroy the obstructing faculties, the destruction being the action of the quality.
By action of the qualities, do you mean like just doing the qualities, or I don't understand what the
function maybe.
The destruction being. So what the destruction being the function of the qualities means is that by destroying the obstructing factors, then the qualities can function?
No. It means that it's like what the sun does is shining. So in the same way, what does this faculty of wisdom do? It is to destroy the obstructing faculties. If I put it that way, is it making any clearer?
No, there's something about the last line, the destruction of which the function of qualities. I think it's more the function of qualities that I don't understand what it refers to.
So the function is what something does, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
and then
here,
the qualities, but which qualities?
The quality is the faculty of wisdom.
Ah.
Campbell says that these qualities here are the five faculties.
So that is just saying, it's reiterating again that the function of the wisdom is to destroy the qualities. The function of the wisdom is to destroy the factors.
Yes, exactly. Obstructing factors. Yes. It's not reiterating. Because in the first place, we said that we are obtained the faculty of wisdom that is able to destroy all of it. Mm-hmm. But it could be occasional. It could be an accident. Mm-hmm. But then in the commentary, the Jamin Kenzo makes it clear and saying, okay, this destruction is actually what the faculty of wisdom is supposed to do. It's just to make it clearer. So
okay, and now my next question would be the difference between factors and faculties, or is it the same?
No. Faculty is these five faculties out of the 37 elements of enlightenment.
Of which wisdom is one. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
We could put a full stop here and just make another sentence to be clear, more easy to understand.
Yeah, no.
She's just adding.
Okay. Can I do it in some other way? Because then that would be adding a lot of things. If we add a new sentence, then we have to recreate the whole subject, verb, complement structure. The faculty of
Diselimination or destruction, but if we can use maybe another
but
word,
that's-
this destruction is the function of the qualities. It's a very simple sentence.
This destruction is the function of the qualities.
or if maybe if we can put it up here. It's able to destroy alpha and
The faculty of wisdom is able to destroy all the
is able
obstructive
to.
factors.
Let me try to do it. Function is to. If you put it that way, one will obtain the faculty of wisdom that is able and whose function is to destroy all the obstructing factors. Does it work?
That is able to and whose function is to destroy all the obstructing factors. Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask you about one just above the one for 100, or maybe after you're finished with everything?
Yes, just 1 minute, because then this
Yeah.
kind of works, but we're missing the qualities. And there's Yonten in the middle that I have taken out. Faculty of wisdom that is able to, and whose function is to destroy. Yeah.
What was the missing word? Faculties?
Quality.
Quality.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't see another way of keeping qualities in this structure. And at the same time, if I add a sentence afterwards, then I have to explain that the qualities is this and that. So I have to kind of paraphrase quite a lot. So maybe just not to have this awkward question of what is this quality referring to, and knowing that the quality anyhow is the function faculty of wisdom, then maybe can just omit it. That would be my choice.
The faculty
of translation. But then if you don't do that, then I'll put the other and then we can do it.
What about like by reciting 1,000 times one will obtain the quality, comma, the faculty of wisdom, comma, that is able
yes.
to.
Like that?
Yeah, and then just a comma at the end of wisdom, just to show that it's the quality is the function of wisdom.
Okay.
It's a really packed sentence, but it does, at least to me, it does make sense.
Okay. Or we could set the quality that is the faculty of wisdom. Makes it a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then we have two times that, but anyhow, this is literal translation, so it works for what I'm supposed to do. This is okay. Then next question was, yes, so who is fighting back and all this thing? So So here again, I had to kind of talk about football with the Campo. Not again, but I had to talk about football to him, because then he told me, well, it's like imagining that you have two teams, and one of the team is the wisdom, the other team is the obstructing factor, the obstacle. First, one will make a goal, so the wisdom destroys the obstacle, makes a goal, and then in return, then the obstacle, the other team will try to put a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And having the strength of not letting it put a goal is the strength, the faculty that becomes the strength. So here the lar, which means once again, is better translated as in return. Okay, so yes, if one is able to return another, then one will obtain the strength that makes the obstructing fighting back one. It makes the obstructing fighter fighting in return. And not all. And any other obstructing factors fighting back. Yeah. Goal on the strength that makes the obstructing factor fighting in return, and any other obstructing factor unable to defeat. And so here, yeah, so for fighting in return, so this is fine. That. And now the second question was about this defeat or disturb, or what was that? And then the Campo here. Yeah, so the Campo was saying that it means that the obstacle. Yes, so he was saying that first, fighting in return is talking generally about any obstructive factor. And then, so anything that wants to fight back to the faculty of wisdom, and then more particularly, specifically, then we are going to address the any condition. And any other condition unable to defeat this term. Yes, so that was in particular. So he was saying that whatever the size of the obstacle or the adverse condition, it would not be able, because of the faculty becoming a strength, it will not be able to harm. So he used the verb nabakel, which means to harm. And so he explained the verb to, which was the one that is found in the text here. To means, literally, it means like taking forcefully something from someone. But it also is used for contexts where, for example, we said that the light of the sun is taking away the power of the candlelight, the light of a candle. It's not that it takes away with force, but it just overpowers it. So it is in that sense that Kimbo was saying, so Zilginun is to overpower, right? And so it is in that sense that to is used. So it's not to defeat, but it would be either harm, unable to overpower.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So then I leave both of these options there because the literal translation, which is to take away, physically does not work in this context. So we have to resort to the meaning rather than stay with literal translation. And because he gave these two
Are more
possibilities,
disturbed, but you already had that idea there.
where
You had put disturb, which
disturb.
is harm in a way. It's
Yes.
harm.
Yes, yes, but disturb
But
is more gentle.
It's
not
gentle,
so strong.
yeah, more gentle. But what I find is in your sentence that fighting in return, what I have understood is that by obtaining the strength, you are able to fight back the obstructing factors, and furthermore, they will not be able even to disturb or to harm the faculty of wisdom, right?
Yeah.
It's because you obtain the strength that you are able to fight back the obstructing factors.
But I think it's more of a
No.
negation, isn't it?
Or are you
Yeah, it is a
saying
negation.
now, sorry?
I think it's saying that it's not that you're able to fight back, it's that the obstructing factors cannot fight back to you.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. So maybe I have to put it in the sentence another way, but that's the meaning that I wanted to convey.
Okay, no, it's just a question of the English, because it's,
Yes, yeah, exactly.
so
That's what I
the
am saying. I'm
strength
talking
that
about the
makes
English.
the obstructing fighting in return. But because there's
Yes, okay.
a relation between strength and fighting in return here, which is not giving the sense that you want to give.
Okay, yeah. So here,
Because yeah, okay.
So here, actually, the subject is the strength.
I will
or
obtain the strength.
faculty. Yes, one will obtain the strength. That.
Katerina, for example, if you take this out, it would make, you can't obviously, but if you take this out, it makes more sense.
Yes, that prevents the obstructing factors
factors.
from fighting. Okay, from fighting
in
back.
return, unable to overpower.
From fighting in return.
Okay,
and
now
any other conditions to harm, overpower the faculty of wisdom.
Contraatacar, fighting in return. That would be it, isn't it? Okay, in English, could say from counterattack.
Thanks for that word, Nadia. Thank you for that word.
I was looking in English, counterattack.
Yes. Yeah.
Contraatacar.
I like your
but I don't know if it's too much to use it. Yeah.
Campbell was using the football game, right?
Yeah, defend
one team, yes,
and
one
counterattack.
Yeah, one team puts a goal, the other one also puts a goal in return. Fighting in return, counter-attacker. Yes, yeah, why not? Then, yeah, from my point of view, it's two. The meaning is still there. And then, and what would be the nuance between counter-attack and fighting back, fighting in return? In Spanish, what would be the difference of meaning?
For fighting back, and which one?
Counter-attack in Spanish.
Contraatacar is you're attacking after having been attacked first.
Yes, that's
both.
What,
yeah, I think both.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, I think fighting in return and fighting back is the same, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think so.
So that's literally
it's
counter-attacking. It's literally counter-attacking.
Mm-hmm. But does a counter-attack have a connotation that you don't want or not?
No, I think it's
question,
fine.
Actually, it's fine. Okay, perfect.
I think it's fine, isn't it, Nadia? It works even with the football analogy, everything.
Football battle.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect then.
No, you put prevents there, right? Yeah, that makes it super clear.
Yes, minuba. So
that
not have the power.
Fighting in return and another condition. Maybe instead of the two, I don't know, from maybe. And then the other obstacle, from overpowering the faculty of wisdom.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what you guys think, but yeah.
Yes. Okay, yeah, things are, let's move to the next question then. Yes, so this is the last one that I still have to ask to Kempo. So those are, yes, this was about the Tukayas, and it was the question that we had to ask. So yes, I still have to ask him, but besides that, well, I think we covered all his answers. Is there anything left? Because now Kempo has already explained everything. And so what is left for us to do is to finalize our translations.
Mm-hmm. I do have a question on the when it's reciting 100 times. Maybe
Okay.
I missed it because it was the day I wasn't here, or when you talked the day after. But when it says the courage that perfects the 100 qualities that we had before, and then that changed because of the reciting 100 times, then. So these, so my question is, when it says which perfect these previously mentioned qualities, I had the idea before that those qualities referred to the 100 qualities, but now it's referring to the constant, or so now my question is, which qualities is it referring to?
Yeah, and then touching bas. And then Lojun Chiaba, and then touching Chiaba, Lojun Ketch Taba. And Tongi Gata Yinga. Kebe Yanda Pongwa Shi Gones. Like Kebe Yanda Pongwa Shi Gone, Kepa de Tarchimbache. Yes, so it is the qualities that what he explained here, right? Is that it is the qualities that you had beforehand obtained with the four perfect abandonments that are going to be brought to their their full development. That will be perfected.
Oh, so it's talking about what you're working on when you're reciting it 21 times.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So actually, I don't know if it became obvious to you or not, but here Jamikenza Ombo is taking the 37 elements of enlightenment with all the small groups within it, and he's saying, okay, if you recite it one time, then you'll get the first set of qualities. Reciting the next amount of time, you'll go to the next set of qualities. The next one under, and each one builds on top of the other.
Okay, but then the only difference between the 21 and the 100 is that it makes it stronger. Is it another set, or is it just that it makes it stronger?
So the 100 ones.
Because it's the concentration of the four limbs.
Yes. Yes. So for the 100s, what you get is the four magical limbs.
Okay, and then those four magical limbs allows us to perfect the qualities from the 21st, from when you recite 21 times.
Yes. Yeah. And this magical limbs, let me check what they are. I don't remember things in Jamba. And then touching and Jamba means you can do the combination touching things in combination. Yeah, let me check here in the four magic limbs what they are for abandonments here. So the miracle support of determination, exertion, attention, and discernment.
And the ones before that?
Those were
the four correct abandonments.
Yes, the four correct abandonment. Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically saying that you develop these new four sets plus strengthen the ones before.
Yeah, this new four sets, that's actually strengthen the ones that we had before. It's let me check here again.
It makes sense with what you have with the previously mentioned qualities.
Yes.
And if it's in the same paragraph, then it could make sense.
For perfect abundance, because giving rise to the courage, which is unbeaten intention and qualities, also but in warnings because of having so yes, so you see here it is if let me check in the Tibetan first. So it is the courage and the studies are
the
going,
memories, huh?
Yes, no, the studies,
the
studies and the courage that was born in us is giving yes, these two are the ones that will perfect the qualities of the four perfect abandonments. So what we have studied and the courage that we have developed is going to fully developed or perfect the four perfect abandonments. And then the studies and the courage will kind of make it possible for the unfailing memory to be obtained. For magic of him, the memory that allows us. No, it's not that. Yeah, so the studies and the courage are going to perfect these qualities. So
the four perfect abandonments.
Yeah, the four abandonments. And through because of having this memory, unfailing memory, because of having the unfailing memory, then we'll get the four magical limbs.
Okay.
And the four magical limbs, like the Kempo was saying, is actually the state of meditation. And because you are so focused and your meditation is so stable, then you do not forget anymore.
Okay. So in a sense, the memory works for both, right? For the ones before and the after, but probably both the courage and the,
the memory is helping the courage and the studies, because it's like you study something. The courage is the fact that you have this, you feel assured of what you're saying. This is the courage.
Now
I have studied something, I know it's right, and I know I'm saying the right thing. This is the courage. I know I trust my own knowledge. This is the courage. And then in order for that to stay like that, then I need to have memory that keeps whatever I have studied and whatever I know intact.
Mhm.
And so this memory is going to, is brought by the four, yes, this memory, yes, and so because this memory is enabled by the meditative state, because memory is not forgetting, right?
Mhm.
When your mind is stable onto its subject, concentrated on what you do not want to forget, you're all the time bringing back to memory what you don't want to forget. And so because of this state of always reminding yourself of what you don't want to forget, being stable, then you don't forget anymore. You have this unfailing memory. And then through that, then the four magical limbs also develop. And these four magical limbs are the result of a stable meditation.
The meditative states you said.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And so let's see here what it says about the four. Not here, but yes, the miraculous ability, four supports of miraculous ability. First, the miracles of determination, which is to meditate with enthusiasm and aspiration towards meditative concentration, so that the mind does not lack faith or wrong views. So it is something that helps. It is a quality that goes in the same direction as the meditation that is needed for the unfailing memory. And after the support of exertion to the practice is to apply ourselves with diligence to the practice of meditating concentration. So it also goes towards improving the meditative concentration, of not forgetting what we don't want to forget. And then here, miracle support of attention, ensure that we remain in a state of one-pointed attention. So again, on what we don't want to forget. And the miracle support of discernment helps us sustain meditation concentration during daily activity. Yeah. So actually, we're all, what Jameken Tsewampo is doing here is very interesting, because he's building all explaining all the 37 things. Like if you just say miracle, support of miracle powers or limbs, then it looks like something exotic. But actually, it is directly going in the way of developing the wisdom that is the one that makes us reach enlightenment. So it's kind of, he's explaining how all of this is actually supporting and improving the wisdom, which is the only real antidote to ignorance. And so the ignorance being the only thing that prevents us from being enlightened. So it's kind of interesting to see. And actually, this is also bringing everything related to Manjushri, which is the wisdom, right? So all the path is kind of related to the wisdom of Manjushri.
Okay. Now, my last question on this would be just on the courage that was born in us, just on the Tibetan,
Yes.
just a little bit of what that means.
Yes, yeah. So to be born is to be developed, or to have appeared in us. That we manage to develop, in other words, that we manage to make it existing in ourselves.
I see. Okay. Cool.
Following this,
Yes.
as I was writing these several stages,
Yeah.
I remember that you were writing in keeping the end of the Tibetan sentence at the beginning, as you said, that it was the most important. So I would like to check in these qualities, because I would like to be sure that first the quality, even if the quality comes from a process like we are seeing now in the 100 times, like you have the meditative concentration of the four limbs, because we have obtained the memory, etc., etc. So there's a kind of process going on. But to be sure that we could start the sentence first for the quality. So you have in the case of reciting one time, you would say that it
yes,
would be the four mindful, I don't know in English,
the four close mindfulness, or
that would be, you put it at the end in this case. So I would like to be sure if this is the quality, the four close attentions, and that came from
reciting at once.
Four close attentions. I will engage into, yes. Yeah, so here, obviously, Jugba is to engage into. So here, I think it's because it is the beginning of the whole process. Then Jamin Kensompo is just saying that not that you will obtain the four close attention, but you start developing them. So, but I don't think I understood what you were asking. You were wondering if you could put these qualities on at the beginning, is it?
Yes, to keep the order, because in the other times we have we can apply the diligence of the four. I'm sorry, I don't have the English now with me. I'm just looking at the Portuguese. The four
perfect abandonment.
No, we saw now the 100. 100 would be the meditative concentration of the four limbs, right?
Yes.
That would be the quality. In the first 25, 21 times would be the diligence of the four renunciations.
Yes, that will apply.
The 7 times would be that one is more difficult because it's more you reach it's less I don't know.
Yeah, there is no actually
the second, but the first one we have the four mindfulness, yes. The four close attentions.
Yes, the first one you have the four close attentions. I think that if you put at the beginning of the sentence, then it will have a difficult time saying that we engage into them.
No, actually we could. We engage in the four mindfulness tenses because we have purified the obscurations that impede the qualities from being born in us.
But then here, if you do that, then you turn around who is the first action and what is the result. So let me check in the Tibetan.
No, you don't. You just change You don't. No, the defilements that are yes. And the defilements that are obstructed will be born. Will be
cleansed. So this is the first
cleansed.
action.
The defilements will be cleansed, and you have put and we will engage.
Yes.
In the four.
So let me check in Tibetan if it's that way or not. Yes, there is a te here, and te is tene in spoken Tibetan. Drupada tene, Jambanya Washawashila Jews. Tene means and then. So drupada te. So after having cleansed the defilements, then we will engage into the four close attentions. So this, at least for this sentence, I don't think we can change because the Tibetan is clear about that.
Okay.
First, you need to have the cleansing, and then after, it will come. That is Tambola Nyandre Banshun Lo Danga Sutunas Nyamchak Tini Tinkidagus. The one kind of dancing medals. Tambola Nyandre Bans. I could ask if this is necessarily the two actions are subsequent or they can be simultaneous or not. I can ask that to the Kempo. But from what I read, it looks like it's still. So I will.
Because in the other case, like the 21, you have a causal relationship.
Yes,
We apply the diligence because we have given birth to courage. And again in the 100 you also have a kind of causal let me say like this, causal causal not causal, cause and effect relationship. So in the first one, we don't have that intent. Actually, I've written in that way, but I see that you have put NV.
Yes, actually, the thing is that in the Tibetan itself, the author Jamyang Khyentse didn't kind of attempt to keep all the qualities at the beginning of sentences. So if he didn't, I would say that we should not try either. But this is my choice.
But you do have the reference to the four
Yeah,
cause
we have.
intentions,
He
the
makes the reference
diligence,
to them.
the
Yes.
concentration, the meditative concentration.
Yes.
And the only one which is a bit not so clear in that sense is the second one, the 7 times, because we just we are told that we are able to have the memory to retain what we have.
Yeah, he doesn't talk about any of the sets with for the 7 times. So it's not that it's not clear. There's no mention of any of the sets of qualities for 7.
No, not clear in the sense that we want to spot
yeah, there's nothing to see. I mean, but for the here, so let's see if for 21 times if we can do that or not. So by resetting we apply the
because we have the because.
Yes, there is because. Yeah, because of giving rise to the courage, which is the impediment of qualities. So there is a relation of what the cause coming first and then the result. So here again, I think it might be for that reason that Khyentse Wangpo didn't put all the qualities at the beginning of sentences. That might be the reason. And here, yes, and then here, and Jamyang Khyentse actually put it at the end of the sentence, but I was forced to put at the beginning because of the order of English language. But he puts it at the end. Here, the 4 magical limbs only come here at the very end of the Tibetan.
Yes, but haven't you changed all sentences? Because if you have
not all.
I know that's the
here,
that's.
No.
So it was the first you didn't change.
So
yes, the first.
No, this one I just put. I left it where it is. This one I changed the order. This I did change the order.
You changed
yes,
21
because the
times. You
recipient of the qualities it is here. So I changed it not because I wanted to put it in front, but because the English language tells me to do that in order to have a clear sentence. Not that my intention is to put that forth. For 7, there's nothing to do, and here I didn't because there was no need of changing anything. The order was fine that way. And he also keeps it at the end, and I keep it at the end also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Well.
Okay. Well, it's up to you. If you want in your translation to make something clear where it was not in the original, it's your choice. But then you have to know.
No, I just want to keep the same order in terms of the.
Yes, but this is exactly what I'm saying. That is your choice. Yeah, it is. That is your choice that you want to do. You can do that. There's no one is going to complain.
That's why I wanted to check
yes.
where it was changed or not. So it was in the 21.
So yeah, the changes are accidental. They're not intentional. At least from my part. From your part, then it is up to you. You will have to answer if someone comes and asks you what's happening in your translation.
Great.
Yeah. This is my easy way out of.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so maybe we make a break, like 20 minutes late now.
Yeah, I was about to say it.
Yes. Okay.
See you guys in
10 minutes. Are there other things? Or you need to first work on it and write it and then after see if something comes up? Okay.
I have one or two things. I just have to read them first to remember.
Okay.